Or I lift big heavy weights, so I'm not flexible at all. I can barely move. Now this is a common thing that you hear people say, you know, if you get big and strong and giant muscles, you're just not flexible in the slightest. And this may not actually be true. For starters, flexibility is very, very genetically driven. So if you happen to have higher levels of elastin to collagen, genetically you will be more flexible, irrespective of any stretching protocol or exercise that you do. Now, obviously, you can improve or regress within that context, but you know, someone who's super flexible naturally is going to always be more flexible, no matter how hard someone who is very inflexible genetically tries. You know, this is why certain people can just touch their hands flat on the floor, 90 years of age, with no training, with no stretching, just can do it. I can bend my, body into funny parts and everything else because I'm genetically flexible, but I don't stretch. So that shows you this is just the way I'm built. However, if we look at training and that effect on flexibility, the traditional approach has always been, if you want to improve flexibility, you do stretching. If you want to get stronger, you do strength training. But what happens if you could do something that was going to get the best of both worlds? So if you could do strengthening and that also got you flexible, you'd also have good strength and control of the range you've got. So you'd have active flexibility instead of passive flexibility. Then this would be really interesting if this was possible. So can strength training improve flexibility as well as flexibility stretch-based training? So here was a systematic review and meta-analysis of 11 randomized control trials looking at this exact subject area. So they compared stretching protocols to full range of movement strength training, and they found they were the same. So whether you did full range of movement exercises or stretching exercises, you gained the same amount of flexibility. So there was one no better than the other when it came to pure and simple flexibility improvements. But as I alluded to at the beginning, if you've got strength and flexibility, you've got control and mastery of your own flexibility. It's active flexibility instead of passive flexibility. And also from an efficiency standpoint, like if you're going to do loads of stretching, and that might cause stretch weakness, as we've mentioned in previous videos, which might be detrimental for strength building. But you could do strength training and get stronger, but also gain range of movement improvements as well. Then it's efficient as well. You're doing it all bundled up into one exercise type instead of having to do two separate types. So actually this might even conclude that it's quite possible that maybe no one needs to stretch. Maybe strengthening through full range of movement is the way to go. So what type of exercises would be the type for this? So you've got things like Romanian deadlifts. Romanian deadlifts will be very good for hamstring flexibility rather than a hamstring stretch. What else could there be? It could be doing like perhaps a pec fly maybe. Could be good for improving the pecs flexibility. So this shows that overall, you should consider this as an option. If you're not very flexible, don't think just because you're doing strength training, that's why. Try and get good range of movement out into the exercise and develop the strength in the range that you're trying to improve upon. And you'll be more efficient in doing that versus doing some stretching stuff. And you'll get all of the benefits we mentioned before. So really interesting, because this is not just one study. This was looking at many different randomized control trials and analyzing it. And they found that there is no difference in actual flexibility itself, improvement, whether you do strength training that's full range of movement versus just static stretching. So you should probably do strength training through full range of movement. And that may well be the most efficient and effective and best way to do this. Really interesting research here and highlighting that you can certainly be big and strong and flexible, obviously within your genetic limits. So anyway, that's it for this video, and I'll see you next time.